Hey, welcome back to the Unlocked Topic Podcast, home of the Let Me Tell You Something segment with me, your host, Smoke Decent, right here on the UTN. Man, this is more than a podcast. This is more like family. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start this show off today with a little bit of news about your boy Diddy. That's right. Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Brother Love, whatever you want to call him, we're going to talk about the man, Sean Combs. So it looks like Diddy has finally been sentenced. Well, he had been found guilty of some of the crimes back, I think, this summer. So we finally did the sentencing, and so he's going to get 4 years. It's like 50 months or something like that Diddy's about to do. And it looks like they was trying to, some of his lawyers and they was trying to go ahead and try to break that down. Like that may have been too much. They was hoping they could get the time served to play a major role in this. You know how it go with those kind of folks, man. I'm pretty sure Diddy done paid a lot of money, had a lot of high dollar lawyers, more than one, more than two, a big team of lawyers, trying to get him out this mess right here. So they was trying to get him a slap on the wrist, And at this point, it's a lot of other people in the world who's starting to side with Diddy in the way of speaking. A lot of the allegations and the things that we thought he was going to be accused of, or the things that we ourselves were accusing him of, a lot of that stuff has been thrown out. Some of the witnesses, shaky statements. A lot of stuff was being skeptical. We didn't know what to believe. You know what I mean? But all we knew is that Diddy definitely had some weird stuff going on, some very, very peculiar stuff going on, you know what I mean? So, yeah, Diddy gonna wind up with the 4 years. And this is due to, charges relating to, prostitution. So everything about when they was talking about minors, when the AC, that's the main thing for me, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the Unlocked Topic Network. I want y'all to hear it first from Smoke Decent. For me, that's kind of what it was, when I started hearing talk about the minors, and you know how they say these celebrities do, how they coerce young ladies and men into doing unthoughtful acts just to become rich and famous. Like they sell them a dream real quick, or they'll tell them something like, you either got to do this or I'll make sure you'll never have a career in this industry, or we'll make it look like you're crazy. Like, they have control over the media a lot of times because they got money, and they could pay off a lot of networks, pay off a lot of people to say certain things, pay off a lot of people to not work with you, So I guess that was a big scare, and that bothered me. Like, you take these young ladies, man, just reaching their high teens, a good 16, 17-year-old, sometimes younger than that, who just want to sing, man, or just want to dance, or whatever the case may be. Then you got these old pedophiles, man, just selling you a fucking dream. Pardon my language, ladies and gentlemen, but selling you a dream and making you do unthinkable acts to obtain it. That's what I didn't get. So then they also had talk about drugs. I remember the little white boy got locked up. For real, they said he was Diddy's drug mule. He was the one going and getting the drugs and bringing them in and to help him to set up the freak offs, making sure that the drugs was there. He actually got locked up. Keep that in mind too. He actually did get locked up, and this was Diddy's man. You know what I mean? And then they had like one of the witnesses. I can't remember her name. Correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. But something like Gia or something like that, where at first they said they couldn't get her. The prosecution said they could not get this witness to show up. They couldn't get her in court. But now, during the sentencing, she's in court. Explain that to me, ladies and gentlemen. The witness is in court. So she's there now. And not only is she in court, she's like on the behalf of Diddy. She's in court like on his behalf, trying to see if they can get the best for him. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like, and I heard this on another network, I can't think of the name of it. Was it the Breakfast Club? Y'all check out the Breakfast Club because they're talking about it over there too, man. That's one of my favorite shows I like to listen to in the morning as far as me riding. I pop in the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne. Shouts to Charlemagne, DJ Envy, Jesse Luris. Shouts to the whole team, everybody in there that get it popping. They're one of my favorite shows to watch. But I think that is over there where they was talking about it. And yeah, they're pretty much saying that They couldn't get her to show up for trial to testify against Diddy, but she is showing up to the sentencing on Diddy's behalf. So I feel like when the prosecution was saying that they couldn't get her, they weren't trying to get her. You got to pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta think. Sometimes you gotta think a few steps ahead as well. So I don't think it's the fact that they could not get her to show up. I think it's the fact that if she did show up, that she would have hurt their case in a way of speaking, because she would have possibly showed up speaking on Diddy's behalf when they needed her to show up and to testify that he was doing all of this malicious and spiteful and evil things to her. So yeah, it just didn't go that way. But they still were able to get something, out of Diddy. So they're going to let him sit down for about 50 months. So that equals like 4 years and some change in jail, something like that he got to do. They say he was very distraught in court. They said he cried. He looked at his hands and he just kind of was puzzled. He couldn't believe this was going on. Then, of course, he has his children. So I do feel sorry for the kids and everybody, the family, everybody who's dependent on him. They were very distraught. I'm sure they were. That's their dad. So they don't want to see their father go to jail and all that. But see, this goes back to Diddy's lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's his lifestyle, man. When you a person of power like he was, and you've gotten away with countless things in the past, man, sometimes you feel untouchable. And when you get to that point in life, I feel like, only my personal opinion, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like you start to lose touch of reality. You start to forget what's real and what really matters. Therefore, you put the people that really love you, the ones that you should really be thinking about, you kind of put them in danger. I mean, yeah, you provide them with the finances, and these kids and these other family members and these teammates of yours, they could live an extravagant lifestyle. But the things that you do, like, it's embarrassing for one. It's not promised to be longevity, as we could see, because 1 minute you could be up and the next minute you're down. So the lifestyle that you provided for these people, that could easily crumble any moment. And they depended on you for this lifestyle. So some of them may be able to recover, go on and do other things in life, but some of them, they'll probably never get back to the life that they used to have before all of this occurred. So I think you got to think about the decisions you decide to make, ladies and gentlemen, when you're a person like that, because we're all human. Nobody's perfect. We all probably got some kind of little secret fetishes or whatever that we've done or wish we could do, whatever the case may be. Just to say that none of us are perfect, but you gotta be mindful of the acts that you commit when you are a person of power like that. I mean, the masses of eyes are already on you. Everyone's already watching you. You understand what I'm saying? When you become that person, when you sign up for this lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen, y'all gotta understand something. It's almost like you're agreeing to be in the public eye. You're agreeing for the majority of your life to not be private. You understand what I'm saying? Your life becomes a public thing, like reality TV. So you just gotta be mindful. You gotta know that when I'm rich and famous and I'm a music mogul, or I'm a famous actress or athlete, whatever the case may be, you got to think about your family. You got to think about your family. Think about your children, most definitely, because decisions that you decide to make will affect your children in the long run. Yeah, man. So, Diddy. I kind of was waiting to see the outcome of this thing. I didn't know, man. It was all over the place for a minute. To me, I didn't know what to think. I think Diddy's a freaky dude and, just out here doing some things that I probably have never thought about before, And you got to have that type of money to think a certain answer me this, y'all. What's up with these cats, man? What's up with these cats when they get to a certain point in life? Is it the Illuminati? Is it? Because they say that once you reach a certain tax bracket and that the Illuminati do tap in with you. Like, hey, you got to come on over here now. You got the kind of money where you need to come talk to us so we can see what you're going to do going forward. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what's wrong with you? I have countless names of people who, I grew up fans of these folks. I've looked at these folks as some stand-up guys. I've looked at a lot of them as, coming from the struggle. especially when it comes to hip hop, because you know it's kind of like birthed off the struggle. So when you coming in hip hop, you got that image of a young black poverty who made it out of the struggle, whether it be with sports or talent, entertainment talent. So, you know, you look at these people because of that. Then you watch their journey go on and you become fans of them. You be proud of them. They inspire you because you can relate to a lot of them. Like, you may come from the same place as them, same type of backgrounds, you understand? So, you know, they give us hope. They give us hope. This culture right here, man, it's a lot of them people that give us hope. The Diddys, the JayZ, the 50 Cent, the Meek Mills, the Lil Durks, King Von, all them people give us hope because a lot of us come from them same backgrounds, you know? So once they get it, it's like a lot of them get to doing some things that make you question them. It make you regret ever loving them the way that you did. It make you regret ever listening to their music sometime. Like, what was I listening to? It make you want to go back and listen to some old songs and get to dissecting some lyrics just to see if I missed something when I was young because my mind wasn't developed enough to know what I was listening to. But what's up with these cats, man? Y'all let me know something, man. The Untopic Network want to know what happens to certain people when they get to a certain point financially. What makes them change? You understand that you could do more, you can provide a lot more, you could live a better lifestyle financially. You understand? But man, when you think about this Diddy thing for real, yo, when we go back to the beginning and when this stuff started really hitting the media and we started paying attention, it's like, think about all the people who was coming down with him though. That's crazy. Like, some of the biggest names in hip hop was being brought up. Like, man, Meek Mill got drugged for real to the point where it affected his career, man. It really did affect Meek Mill's career. We still don't really got no full-blown proof that anything that was said about him is truth. So, and it's crazy too because he ain't helping none. Y'all know how Meek is. He had to respond to everything. He got to get on. He had to prove to y'all that he was a street nigga. That's what's throwing us off because on the street nigga got to prove he a street nigga, you know what I'm saying? But, man, but it started looking like the internet is undefeated, yo. Like, it started looking true because the way they was breaking down the events that these guys was going to and, you know, how Meek went from, like, this hood image. And I know, like I said, I know you evolve in the game, you know, you get money, you get to go in different doors, but like how he had this hood image to now he up in some of these millionaire parties gyrating around the floor with Diddy is, oh man, it just looked crazy. And that footage with the pool footage, like I never really said, okay, that's proof that them guys was together last night and Meek is in the pool this morning with the shame face, but it was starting to look like what they call the humiliation ritual, where, you know, where they do something to humiliate you publicly. That doesn't necessarily mean that it'll end your career at this point in time, but it's like it's something that must be done as part of your oath. It was starting to look like that though. Like Meek was looking crazy out here for real. And then not to mention the Carters, JayZ and Beyonce name kept floating around there. I thought that this was about to bring Jay down a bit, you know, like to the point where maybe he gotta face trial for something, you know. There's a lot of accusations about JayZ out here and baby mamas getting killed. It's like every time somebody come out and say that they JayZ baby mama, they wind up dead, and then that's just, it kind of puts you in mind like the Kim Porter thing with Puff. It's like these guys all had the same MO when it comes to stuff like that. And you got to think about it, man. It's just like the mafia or the government or the big time drug kingpins. You know, them guys got a lot of money. So when things ain't going their way, they eliminate that. You know, and they got enough money to do it. They got enough money to get someone killed and to hide the truth, to block things, you know. So don't think that these entertainers can't do the same thing just because they some of your favorite entertainers. Like, that type of stuff, I truly believe that's definitely being done in the game. Like, yeah. But JayZ and Beyonce name, they was coming up crazy to the point where I'm like, and now, is JayZ and B a little bit too big, a little bit too powerful for this to tarnish their image? And it definitely didn't hurt them at all. I think one thing came up about JayZ that he had to pay somebody off. Like, I knew Jay though. Anybody who been following Jay's career and following his life, they know that when things happen with JayZ, it don't last long. It don't stay in the media. Jay powerful, Jay big. You heard me? Like, Jay get that thing taken care of. Something gonna happen, but we not gonna talk about JayZ all day long. He makes sure that, you know. Man, a lot of people name came up. The Kid Cudi name came up, and it's crazy too, because remember Cudi name came up, and you had people like Young Thug, who was calling Cudi a rat, you know. But you can't call Cudi a rat. Cudi not no street nigga. He not no hood boy. He not making music talking about shoot 'em up, bang bang, no snitching. You understand what I'm saying? They say Diddy pretty much broke in that man's house and harmed his dog, threw his little chihuahua, little poodle, whatever he got in the room, traumatized the dog. Diddy blew up a car. You know, that man was supposed to, he know he ain't no hood nigga. He know he won't about to go fight about it, shoot about it. So what the civilians do? They tell the police. So I definitely don't consider Cudi no rat in that case. Of course, what's the girl name? She kind of made me mad too, for real. Like, I ain't know. It's like she had me sympathetic for her in the beginning, and then it just started looking like a plot maybe to get paid, and you know. But I believe that girl just a freak, y'all. Y'all heard it here first in the Unlocked Topic Network, straight like that, man. But I believe that girl was a freak, and she liked to be freak. She was with Diddy for 10 years, probably more. But she with that man for a decade, you understand me? And they having all these freak offs where she's supposedly is forced to engage in sexual acts with multiple people for multiple days, off of multiple drugs. And it's like, for a decade? I know that kind of stuff happens, y'all. The whole people get kidnapped and held against their will. But in a relationship, man, you in a whole relationship, man. Like, we see y'all in public, y'all on red carpets and all kinds of stuff together. Like, if it's really that traumatizing to you, if you really, really want to escape that bad, like, you could have caused the scene. You could have caused the scene, man. Wait till I get on one of these red carpets and just break down, crying and scream on camera with what Diddy's doing to you. You know what I'm saying? And then you get paid. What you get, like $30 million? Man, you got paid big time for y'all little civil suit to get wrapped up. For the footage looked bad. Did he come out there kicking on a girl in the hotel room? The footage looked real bad, you understand me? So it's like, what can you say, Diddy? But come out there and give a little bullshit apology like you did. That really didn't hold no weight if you ask me, you know what I'm saying? But Shorty got paid, right? She got paid off. So boom, that's dead and done. I ain't with you no more. She done moved on and got married to somebody else. I feel sorry for her husband, man. He a strong dude. If you think about it, you gotta hear about it. You gotta think about that. You laying down with your girl, you just think about it, man. Like, it was 2-3 other dudes, including Diddy, laid down with her, doing probably way more than what he could do. I'm trying to tell you, because see, when you're in a relationship, you loving, you making all kinds of love and all that. They ain't having no freak offs at the crib. He ain't performing on Cassie the way they was. Cassie, she liked them freak offs. I'm a firm believer that Cassie's ass was into that. I'm a firm believer that Cassie was for the freak offs. She liked it to get hired up off of whatever drugs they was using. Just like that one dude said, Cassie told him he's supposed to be one of the sex slaves, and he came out. He said, this is doing the see. When a lot of these people was talking, a lot of us didn't want to believe it, man. We felt like it was a ploy for some kind of fame, you know. So everybody wanted their 15 minutes to shine, you know what I'm saying? But that dude came out and said, like, he engaged multiple times with those guys, with Diddy and Cassie. And one reason why he engaged, because Cassie would particularly want him. You know what I'm saying? She's asking for him because she said to him that she actually felt safe with him. Yeah, that man was putting that whoop-de-doo on her. You heard what my man said? Whoop-de-doo. He was putting that thing on Cassie, you know what I'm saying? And she liked it. She liked that moment. So, I don't know, man. Like, I ain't know. In the beginning, it might was a little bit off to her. But once she got good, it got going good and she engaged. This didn't happen several times, man. Ain't nobody telling me that this was all bad for her. This wasn't all bad for her. But once things started hitting the fans a little bit, and I feel like okay, because it's people that's in these houses. It's other famous people and people that work for Diddy and bodyguards and stuff who they see what's going on. They know what's up, you know. And I feel like it's certain people, particularly other women, who started to know what was going on with her. And I think she was shamefaced it. I felt like she was just getting embarrassed about it. And I had to, this is my way to escape it, is to play victim real quick. You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't think it was all harmful or mind fucking her to the point where she's scared to leave. I doubt that very seriously. No, man. No, not at all. Man, there was a lot of names that came up, boy, when that Diddy shit hit. That shit hit like crazy. And Cat said it. You remember Cat Williams had the interview with Shannon Sharp, and he said it, yo. He said a lot of stuff was going to come to light, you know what I mean? And that shit kicked the door down. It didn't just come to light. It kicked the door down. The industry was taking a big blow at that time, you know. Oh, man, there was other names that popped up in there, man. Some actors and actresses, man, that was seen with Diddy constantly. That was it, man, big names, people that you love, you know. It's crazy to me. I'm looking at the footage of some of these parties. Now, we all know all of these parties, I guess they say it's certain times, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to leave at a certain time before for the devil come out and the real party start, you know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at the footage of some of these white parties they was having before it got moved around. And, you know, I'm seeing people like Chris. I saw Chris Brown. And if I saw Chris in a lot of footage, granted, Chris' name never came up on no crazy stuff, you know, like he was at no freak offs. Nobody never brought it. Then you got a lot of people that you know, say they was there, that didn't see anything, that maybe they left early or whatever the case may be, they didn't see anything, you know. So it was hard to even say if these freak offs was even really happening, man. But then you got people like Exhibit. Remember what Exhibit said? Where Puffy took him to, and they was with Superhead, and, you know, I think they had went to Puffy took him to like a gay club or something like that. You know, then you got who else said some outrageous stuff about man, bottom line, we could all sum it up that Puff is definitely a freak, a super freak, like a weird freak, a nasty freak, an unforgiving freak. Puffy is definitely that. Like going back to that youth thing, to the age thing, I ain't sure how that went, but remember it was a picture of the young lady laid on the table like she was a buffet, and I guess the people was all around her doing whatever, but the young lady came out and spoke and said that she was such and such age at the time. Like, a lot of this stuff was going on, and I believe a lot of that stuff. I think these things are facts, but I think money talks, man, and sometimes money can be bigger than the facts, man, and a lot of people got paid, or even the victims, man. Even the victims, I feel like a lot of these people did go through some traumatizing acts. But once they got the offer, I'll sweep it under the rug. I can't respect them for that, because that means you're willing to take a payoff and allow these predators to stay free to continue doing these things to somebody else, you know. So I can't really respect y'all either. But I do feel like a lot of that happened, you know. So, damn, Diddy. Yo, that Diddy thing was big, man. And I was trying to figure out what the climax of this thing was. I kind of knew it wasn't going to be like the Bill Cosby thing, man, or the R. Kelly thing, for instance. I kind of knew we wasn't gonna hear that. Hey, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, sentenced to 25 years, 30 years. I kind of knew that wasn't gonna be the case because of the allegations. Yeah, a lot of this stuff was crazy, but you know, the most damning thing would have been like the sex trafficking and like the underage thing and maybe the drugs, and I guess none of this could be proven, so they couldn't get nothing on him. Where you go back to the R. Kelly case. Go back to the R. Kelly. So what different? What did he do different than Diddy to make him get all these years? Are they saying that it was proven that R. Kelly's victims were minors, or he really did do some harmful things to them other than urinating on a young lady? Because that's crazy. We seen the footage of him urinating on a young lady, but we seen footage of Diddy putting hands, feet, knees, knuckles, and elbows all over Cassie. You understand I'm talking about? So, like, there's both cases has video footage of some fuckery. You understand I'm talking about? Both cases has evidence of some freaknik shit. You know what I'm saying? Big evidence of a lot of freakness going on. You know what I mean? Both are cases where women are supposedly have been held against their will or manipulated into not leaving and things of that nature. So what's the difference? Like, why does R. Kelly have all of that time and Puff Daddy just got sentenced to 50 months? I don't know, man. Y'all hit that comment section, man, and let me know, man. What's the difference in R. Kelly's case and Puffy's case? Why does R. Kelly have so much time compared to Puff? Like, let's break this down, ladies and gentlemen. Let's break it down, man. Because we talking about the king of R&B, man. And we done locked him up and threw away the key, man. Now we got this mogul, this producer, you know, who I feel like if you don't watch it, I think he may have done worse stuff than Kales. Because see, with the R. Kelly thing, you know, it won't no talks of no death. It won't no talks of nobody being killed or no, I really want no talks of like no drugs or nothing like talk about. It was just, I guess R. Kelly's whole thing was the youth. They supposed to have been kids and shit like that. You know what I mean? And a lot of them. But in Puffy's case, you talking about he's being accused of having something to do with Tupac's death. For years, there's been accusations he's had something to do with Tupac's death, with Biggie's death, with his ex-wife Kim Porter's death, with quite a few other people. I remember he started off with Uptown, you know, man. Everybody that was his partner with that Uptown, all of them, except for man, his name's gonna come to me in a minute, man. The singer, man, and the singer, he used to go with Kim Porter first. And Puffy pretty much raised his son up, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna think of his name in a minute. But he got real sick, and Puff name came up in that, like, he may have had something to do with that. Don't keep in mind, they don't just kill you, man. Sometimes they'll inject your ass with something and give you AIDS or cancer. Like that. That stuff is real, ladies and gentlemen. That's real. That is real. And as long as you got the money and the power, you can get access to these things, you know. So, man, yeah. But Puffy, man, 4 years federal penitentiary for his crimes. Sources also say that he's asking to serve his time in some facility out in New Jersey. So I'm guessing it's probably real nice. It's one of them nice facilities out there where he ain't got to worry about nothing. In 4 years is going to be gravy. But, you know, truth of the matter is your career is tarnished. Your image is tarnished. Your legacy is tarnished. We could talk about all the great music that you was a part of throughout the years, but we will always bring up this. We could talk about your children, you know what I'm saying, how they've grown and how they feel, but we're going to bring up this. We could talk about Big. Your name going to come up in that. But once your name come up, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about how you are a super freak, Diddy. Puff Daddy. Brother Love. The Diddler. Yeah, we ain't going to never forget this, bruh. Never forget this, man. That's crazy, man. And we love you too, man. We love you, Puff. Like, it's almost going back to the R. Kelly thing. You know how everybody already, y'all know how I feel about that. R. Kelly has locked up his music. It's not. That man's talent is something that can't be written off. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, he'll always be the king of R&B to me until somebody else comes here and tops what he's done. And I don't see that happening no time soon. So it's the same thing for Diddy, man. We can't take away what he brought to hip hop, the great music he made, some of the best acts ever. You know, under him. Like, it was a point in time where you wanted to be a part of Bad Boy. They had the whole industry in the gridlock, headlock. You heard me? Like, Bad Boy was the sound, you know, so you can't take that away from him. We'll always remember that. But going back to what I said in the beginning part of this podcast, man, it's all about the decisions that we make, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be careful, because even though that's a part of you, Diddy, that we'll never forget, this part of you overshadows that, and we will never forget this either. So, yeah, man. Unlock Topic Network. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. Give us y'all thoughts on this whole Puff Daddy situation. Do you feel like 4 years is enough time? Do you feel like it's too much time? Also, let me know, man, what you think is the difference between this Diddy situation and the R. Kelly situation. Let us know why does one of those names have so much time and why the other doesn't, you know. So make sure you hit that notification button, man, so you can keep up with us every time we drop some new content, man. And make sure y'all check out that let me tell you something segment that we give you here, because every chance I get, man, I'm going to tell you something that I feel like you really need to hear. And that's when I keep it overly real. That's when it's, man, something you don't want to miss. All right, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching this episode of the Unlock Topic Podcast. But before we get out of here, man, let me go ahead and drop some of them Netflix picks on you. Y'all already know how it go. We like to bring y'all some good watches over here at the Netflix picks. So let's see what we got on the board today, ladies and gentlemen. For your Netflix and chill, first we got, now this is if you're looking for a series. We got some good series on the board for y'all today. We got Jupiter's Legacy. Now, this is a 2021 series, so it's a little bit dated, but still a great watch. It's pretty much like, it's talking about like the first superheroes. It's not what you want to call a superhero movie or series or per se, you know, but it is on that level where people do have supernatural abilities and stuff like that, and they're passing it down to their children. And, you know, it's always a little bit of complications when you're passing anything down to your children. So yeah, Jupiter's Legacy, that's on Netflix. That's our first pick for today. We're gonna stay on series too, so while we at it, with Beauty in Black. I don't know if y'all done tapped in with that yet, but we got Beauty in Black on the table today. That's a Tyler Perry flick right there. So shouts to Tyler Perry. You know, he always brings some pretty good movies, some pretty good TV shows, all of the above. So yeah, Beauty in Black. It's pretty much about, it's crime based, you could say, you know what I'm saying. A couple of young ladies and young men get forced into a lifestyle that they don't want, and, you know, kind of forced to do things that they're not supposed to do. But ironically, some kind of way, they find their way out of the hole to the point where they could turn it around on all the people that abuse them in a hood type of way, though, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, man, y'all go check out that Beauty in Black. What else we got? We got one more for y'all today, y'all. Today on the Unlock Topics Netflix picks. 7 seconds. 7 seconds, y'all. That's a limited series as well. It's a little bit dated as well. You're talking about 2018, but it's playing on Netflix now. So if you want to Netflix and chill and get into a good crime drama, this is the one for you. It's called 7 Seconds. It's starring Regina King, who also scored an Emmy for her role in this crime drama. So pretty much it's about like a young black youth who gets murdered, and it uncovers a police cover-up pretty much. So, you know, you can only imagine how it goes down in this movie when a young black African American gets killed in the inner city. So yeah, man, that's today's Netflix picks of the day. Jupiter's Legacy, Beauty in Black, and 7 Seconds with Regina King, man. These are all series, so if y'all needed something good to watch, kill the boredom, kill time with, go check out our Netflix picks. Once again, man, thanks to everybody for tuning into the Unlocked Topic. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, please like, comment, and subscribe to this video so we can keep running it up. Let's go ahead and put me in the algorithm, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And please hit that notification button so you can stay in tune. Every time we drop new content, I want you to be right there to watch. So once again, ladies and once again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Unlocked Topic Podcast with your host, Smoke Decent. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed day.